be a producer, did the decision to be a producer come first, or did the decision to produce this movie come first? What was it?
I honestly don't remember. It happened so long ago. The time that I met Jasmeet, my director of Darlings, it kind of happened in 2019. We're in 2022. And I have very bad memory, so I don't remember what happened and how it happened. But I just remember that it just felt like a why not, you know? Maybe I had reached that point also where I was like, okay, listen, if I'm headlining a movie, maybe it makes more sense if I produce it. Maybe not charge such a massive actor fee, don't load the production, all those technical number, take a back end, all those little things. But then when I thought about it, I'm like, okay, listen, there's a part of me which is also now wanting to explore a new sort of arena in my career as a creative individual, not just as an actor. Because I suddenly started getting more and more interested in the whole aspect of filmmaking, and felt like I have something that I would like to contribute as well. And then came Darlings to me, a script that I just was instantly surprised by. I think that's the first word I would use, because I was not expecting it to go where it was going. And yeah, that's how it all happened.
But you couldn't have chosen a tougher time to become a producer, right? I mean, this has been a really tough year for Bollywood.
I think it's a tough year for Indian cinema. I think we should just be a little kind to Hindi films, because right now we are sitting here and saying that, oh, Bollywood, oh God, like it's so tough for Bollywood and all. But are we really counting the overall number of films that have done well this year? Like even in the South industry, all their films have not worked. Some of the films have worked and they've worked very well and they're very good films. But similarly over here, some of the films, starting with my film this year, Gangubai Kathiawadi, have worked and done very well. A good film will always do well. I think the lens right now is really hard on cinema in general, because we're coming back post pandemic. The theaters were shut for almost 2 years. So there's this sort of course, assessment, like what are the films that are going to work in the theaters? What are the films that are working in general? Good content will always do well. That's a given. We can't change that. But now maybe we're just sort of reassessing what are the kind of films that we are going to put into the theaters, what are the kind of films that we maybe bring directly onto an OTT platform, what is the general consumer habit. We're just assessing that, understanding that, but it doesn't mean that Hindi cinema is over. That ain't happening.
No, of course not. But is there enough introspection happening, you think?
Of course. One is not sitting eating popcorn and being like, yeah, jo bhi hona hai, hone do. Everybody cares. And if you ask anybody who's making movies or who's in the movie business, we literally only talk about the movies. That's all we talk about. Our friends are in the movies. We have conversations. We are assessing content. We're talking about the other content. We're talking about each other's content. We're constantly learning. We're constantly grasping. We're constantly evolving. At the end of the day, it is a business, but it's also a creative business which genuinely takes over your life. You can't help it. It just takes over every conversation and every thinking moment. Like sometimes you have to try and switch off, which is very hard, but it doesn't happen, because that's how in a creative industry you just your body gets involved in the filmmaking aspect of it.
Yeah, so hi. We were just talking about Alia's